Part of any good emergency plan is knowing what type of common emergency situations that you might experience. Go to the worksheet titled Common Disaster/House Maps. We have provided a list of common emergencies that the majority of people will see. Check the box if it's a possible emergency in your location. By knowing which disasters are most likely to affect you, it allows you to be more prepared. Chemical. This can be something as simple as a household spill or a disaster that happens on a train with hazardous materials. Drought. A drought can be a disaster because you might be in an area that doesn't have a lot of water or access to water is an issue. Earthquake. There are a lot of fault lines in Idaho, so it will be important for you to know where those fault lines are and if there are any nearby. Fire. Fire could be as simple as a fire in your house all the way up to a wildfire. Flood. Check your surrounding areas to see how close you are to a creek, lake, or any other body of water that could flood. Flu. Food storage. This might be a disaster for some individuals because they don't have easy access to food because they live in a rural area or it's a long ways to the grocery store. Heat wave. Heat wave can be a disaster because it might get too hot that it makes it really hard for you to function, or you might not have access to AC or any other way to cool down. Hurricane. Landslide. Landslide can be a disaster for many different reasons. It could affect you and your house and that's it, or it could cut off a way for you to travel and able to get your resources. Power outage. If you are someone who is electronic dependent, a power outage could be a disaster. Terrorism. Thunderstorm. A thunderstorm can drop trees, can cause flooding, or cause power outages. So if you're in an area that thunderstorms are common, it's important to realize that you might need to be prepared for them. Tornado. There are some parts of Idaho that have had tornadoes touch down. Tsunami. Volcano. Water safety. This means that you could have your water supply affected by other disasters. Wildfires. Wildfires are very common in Idaho. Snowstorms. Snowstorms can affect just about every component of life, and they're very frequent in Idaho. Other. Other can mean anything that was on this list that you have experienced, or you know others have experienced, that can be counted as a disaster. When you are going through the common emergency situations, don't be afraid to think outside the box and think very long term. Just because something happened 50 years ago doesn't mean it won't happen again.